So I had this kind of dumb idea where I want to try a controlled experiment kind of thing to see how much staining power or whatever each of these inks have, or paints, or whatever the hell they are. So I got 24 white uni PX30s, and I have 24 different variations of ink. So I'm going to put the same amount on each one and see how it affects it, see what cool colors we're going to get. After playing with the pink uni PX30, I figure why not try to make my own colors, you know. Obviously you'll be able to get more staining power if you add more than what I'm doing, but I'm going to do a standard 5 milliliter each marker. I'm going to use a syringe to make sure it's exactly precise. Don't worry, the needle on the syringe is not sharp, it's a dull syringe. But yeah, I want to go through each. We got the Pilot Red, and we're starting with, we're going to do 5 milliliters of it. Very precise, trying to do it like, take notes of everything and make sure that it's all, I'm getting useful information out of it, but yeah. The point of this is to make interesting colors. If you want crazy staining, you probably just fill it up, you know? So this first color is kind of like a salmon, orange, reddish kind of color, which is neat as hell. If you were to use this to tag, I'm sure the red would fade over time. But it's a white uni, so I'm sure the white would still be there, but cool. So I'm gonna put it on this little label, 228 label, wrap it around there so I know how much is in there, and put a number on the bottom of the marker so I can keep track of how they age and whatnot. If I want to make further modifications, I can know how much is already in there. So here we got the green Pilot ink. I'm gonna do the same thing. Be very careful about it. I know some people don't give a shit, those literally just pour and stuff, and that's cool, do your thing, but I'm just trying to be precise about this so I can have comparable results through the whole process. Remember, these things are reverse threaded. So with this one, we got like a soft, almost pastel kind of green color. Pretty neat that this is a PX30. You've never seen a PX30 in this color ever. So it only took 5 milliliters of green Pilot to do that. So now we got the blue Pilot ink. Same formula. I'm pretty sure the Pilot ink is oil based. I don't know exactly everything about it. You guys know more like the MSDS sheet on about it, what solvents in it, etc. Put it in the comments. I don't know that much about it. I don't even know if you can find that information on that. But there's 5 milliliters in there. I like to keep everything nice and fresh and clean. I'm considering making some of these, the colors that I like the best, and putting them up on eBay. This color came out pretty cool. I was expecting a much darker blue, but it's nice. It's a like a bright blue, like a signal blue. I like this color. I might make a few of these. I'm definitely going to keep this one for testing, but I'll probably make a few of the colors that I like the best to put on the eBay store. So if you want to try one of these without having to commit to either buying the whole thing of ink or buying markers, you could just buy one pre-made. So I'll have a couple of those on the eBay store. Anyways, this blue came out pretty damn good. I'll put the label on it, mark it, record the data, and start with the black Pilot ink. What's interesting is to see is how much you're tinting the white paint in the Uni PX with the small amount of the staining ink, you know, like how little do you need to actually change the color or get like somewhat of a different hue, you know? I think that's interesting. So this came out kind of like a dark primer gray, and not quite black, but if you've ever like used spray paint primer before, like it's kind of like that kind of color, like that dark sandable primer. You know, takes a little longer to dry, but that one's pretty cool. Gray. And we got the magic ink set up here. We got 4 different flavors of magic ink. First we'll just start off with the black. I'm curious to see how this compares to the Pilot ink black, and how much the difference in staining power is, because I think all we're going to see is a difference in gray. It's not so much going to be like, I don't think with this little amount of ink that you're going to get a crazy dark color. As I predicted, is it like a lighter? It's not as, it seems maybe the ink, the black magic doesn't stain or isn't as pigmented. So this is orange magic ink. Don't get it confused, it's not white magic ink. This is some orange magic ink, which is strange to see, but it looks like it didn't add much flavor to it or color. So I might plus 5 more milliliters on that one to see if I can get more. So now we're on to the yellow magic ink, which this is cool stuff. I'm not sure what solvent is based on or what it's based on. If someone could leave it down in the bottom comments, I would fucking appreciate that. But with this particular one, the color came out really good. But when I put the marker back together, I forgot to put the valve on, so it spilled everywhere. And there's the valve. So don't forget to put the valve back in, otherwise it'll just literally dump out and make a huge mess. I got lucky that that was the small as the mess was, so it could have been a lot worse. But there's that one. Not a bad color. So next we got the red magic ink. Same thing, but we got a salmon, like kind of like a salmon color out of it, which is pretty cool. It's not like red, almost like a pinkish salmon orange color, which is pretty damn cool. Next we got the West Coast yellow, which is kind of a rare ink for those people that know. It was like the 3-finger wide markers from back in the day. But that came pretty good color. I like it. It's like a pastel yellow. And then I fuck with that. But the West Coast orange, I've been looking forward to playing with this, staring at it for a year without touching it, just because absorbing as much dopamine as possible. But this color smacks, dude. This is probably one of my favorite ones, and I'll most definitely be making a few of these so you guys want one. I love that color. It's so loud. So next we got the Higgins Black Magic, which this did not work. Higgins is water-based, and it did not want to mix well with the uni. Up next we got this stuff called Liquid Leaf. It has actual copper and xylene floating in it, so I figured why not give it a shot. The standard 5 milliliters each to see what kind of does. And it looks like it just very slightly stained it and very slightly metallic. Probably could double, maybe triple the amount in that to get a better effect. Up next we have the Molito Street Ink Red. You know, it's like a standard stainer. A lot of people use this for whatever, but this color came out basically pink. This is basically the same color as the stock PX30 pink one that came out of Fade Bomb, so that's interesting to note. Not a bad color at all. Next we got the Jellyfish Fuchsia from Grog, the Buff Proof, and this is one of my favorites. I love this purplish, pinkish, beautiful color. Beautiful color, definitely making some of those. Up next we got the Spanish Montana Liquid Chrome Silver. It just added a hint of silver, probably could double, maybe triple that one. All the metallics seem to not add too much unless you add a lot. So I'll probably, on each of those, if I make some to sell on eBay, I'll probably triple, at least double the amount of Spanish Montana that I put into the markers. Because it does give some metallic, and it does tint the markers to some degree, but it's not nearly as much as I would like it to be. It's just not there. We got the Marsh White. It did what you expect, just made it a little bit more opaque and running better. We got the Marsh Black. This stained and turned to like a darker, almost black primer, so that's crazy. We got the AP Steve Garvey Purple, which this is also one of my favorites. Love that color. That is amazing. Definitely gonna make a few of those. Then we got the industrial. Oh yeah, these markers using a Prisma 3.0 marker just to write things down, and then I have a PX300 alcohol-based marker to write on the bottom of the markers. Then we got the Acme Industrial Blue, just make this beautiful robin eggshell color, and then that shit's beautiful. Then I filled one up all the way, an extra 20 plus milliliters of the industrial ink just to see what it would do and fill it up all the way. Definitely gonna put some of those up on eBay. Those are amazing. Those are fun. They make it really juicy. But we have to take a little side quest here to mess with this methylene violet powder. This is pigment powder. This is very staining shit. I learned this from the Oink Ink video, following his recipe.
We take 50 grams of each of the staining chemicals that we use and add that to the
which based on his based on what he said, it should be about 1 gram per 4 ounces of ink, and this is 20 ounces of ink in that, so I added 4 grams of methylene violet powder and shook it up. I'm gonna put some in these AP mops that I have left over that I didn't finish with the homemade Rusto, just to play with that later, and I want to see how that works with the paint and the stainer and all that. It'll be fun to play with later. But a little side quest to make the Super Stainer 1 version. We had the base ink, and we added some methylene violet, and now we have Super Stainer 1, and we're gonna put 5 milliliters of that in a marker. First we gotta put some in this little thing to take into our station. And we're gonna put 5 milliliters of that into a white PX30, compare it to the base industrial ink and everything else. And it looks like it's just a slightly darker, more rich blue. I bet it would have a little bit more staining power. But on this last, yeah, look at that color. That is beautiful. It's almost like the same color as the gloves. But on this last marker, the 24th marker, what I want to do is a 4-way combo of the Super Stainer 1. I want to do some AP Garvey, 5 milliliters of each, by the way, and then some fuchsia, Jellyfish Fuchsia, a Buff Proof Grog shit, and then finally the Montana Street Ink, just to put it all together, top it off all the way. and should be a really nice color. I might make a few of these, but this color is beautiful. It's deep, it's violet, it looks very stainy, it looks very, very opaque. But yeah, so that's the idea of putting all these different inks in different PX30s. You saw the results. I will play with them more later on different surfaces, but now that they're all laid out and whatnot. And like I keep saying, I'm gonna make a few of these to put on my eBay store if you just want to grab one just to play with, so you don't have to commit to buying the whole ink bottle and the marker. So that'll be up there for your convenience, or if you just want to try it out. Also, I also still have this giveaway going on. You have to just follow the channel, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, whatever, and go to my Instagram and follow it, and you are automatically entered for these markers. I'll ship them to you, all that shit. Anyways, thanks for watching this whole goddamn thing. Do the algorithm things, like, comment, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Have a good day.